Happy Thursday. Oh, Lord. Hi, everybody. It's me, it's Perry. I'm here. I am very happy to be here with you people. Hope you're well. Hope you've had a good week. Hope that things are just in a good state for you. What's going on, Andrew West? All the way in Canada. I am really sorry. So I want to say this up front because I am probably going to be mostly uncomfortable for this stream. JG, whiskey cheers to you, buddy. I absolutely threw out my back today, which I cannot believe I'm saying as a 28-year-old, but it is some of the most pain I have ever been in my entire life. And I am not having a great time right now, even just sitting. So I'm still going to be in a good mood. I'm still going to have fun, but like I am struggling. I'm struggling. Cheers, Big Vic. Hope you're well, buddy. PT man, is this Perry Ritter or Perry Farrell? I was hoping for Pharrell. I unfortunately get that a lot, but this is Perry Ritter. So I hate to disappoint, but I hope that you will stick around anyway. Tony Bag of Donuts. Hi, Tony. Tony had let you know in the chat, but your samples arrived today. Thank you so much for sending them. And I'm super excited for those candies as well. I know Eric is going to be thrilled. Super, super thrilled. Bev Porter. Hello, Bev Porter. I love you too. It is so good to see you, Bev. Cheers to you too, Vic. Man up. JG. I'm doing everything in my power to stay strong, my friend. And it's no fun when you take a step the wrong way and pain shoots up from your leg all the way to your back. So that's about where I am right now. But regardless, I'm here for it. You know, I'm here to have a good time. Darren says cast strength bourbon, doctor's orders. I can do that. That's an easy compliance for me. And I'm not going full Perry pour, but I'm gonna go a little heavier. I need vitamin I. Sure. Did someone say Pharrell was on tonight? If he is, I've completely missed that. But oh, I see what you did there. Brian. All right, so tonight we got a couple of things happening. First of which, so you guys are here, so thank you so much for that. I always appreciate you guys spending time with me on Thursday evenings. If you have not yet, please subscribe to the channel, of course. What can we do to help you, Perry? Bev, absolutely nothing. You guys just have a good time and hang out, and I am going to constantly kind of be shifting my body around a little bit. And if I yelp at any point, just act like everything's normal, please. But I do need some of that high proof, Tony. You're right. But subscribe to the channel. I know that pretty much everybody who is here has already subscribed as well. Get some Bauer back and body. Those hook you up, bro. Recommended back injuries expert. Thank you. Thanks, Vic. Cheers to you too, Mike Meyer. Been a minute. Good to see you in here. But yes, subscribe, like the video. Helps the algorithm thing so much. Comment on the video once it's over. If you're watching on the replay, thank you so much for doing that. If you're listening to the audio version in the podcast feed, thank you so much for that as well. And normal, what the heck is that? I don't know what normal is. I did get at least 60 or so watch hours last week. Been slacking this week. That's okay. 60's awesome. Thank you, Brian. Hope you and Tammy are doing well It's good to see you guys in here. Cheers, everybody. Cheers to you too, Roscoe P. Coltrane. Good to see you. Eric should bring me the good stuff. It would be nice if Eric brought me the good stuff. Joseph Brazo. Hope you're well, my friend. Can't wait for you to not fall through my back deck in May. Who's this from? JG? JG with the $5 Snuffy chat says Walker fun with tennis balls. I appreciate that. I do need the extra assistance. But John from the Embellish podcast said, did I miss the announcement? You have not missed the announcement yet. We're going to be waiting for a little while until our special guests or guest are hopping on. But there's a big announcement about the meetup weekend that is happening this evening. They should be on, I'm just going to say they, because it's a they. Should be on around plural they, not non-binary they. I think that's safe to say. They should be on after about 8:30. So we'll be on the lookout for them. Do smash the thumbs up. Bayer, not Bauer. There we go. Looking forward to not falling through your back deck. I am looking forward to being able to go out on my back deck. So, and I think like by the end of next week, our back deck is going to be done and ready to go. We found a guy who says he does it in 3 days. So that's pretty spectacular. And I will not complain about somebody working that quickly. Music too loud, too soft? Let me know. I always feel like it's a little too loud, but I could be wrong. But also, if you want to support the show, because we are not yet at the point where we have super chats here on YouTube, or if you're not watching on YouTube and you would find a different way to support the show as well, say you're on Facebook or you're on Twitch, you can use Snuffy Chats, and that is in support of old man Snuffleupagus over here. And much like Jay left a message with his Snuffy Chat. You get your little message shows up here on the screen. So appreciate you. All the ways to do that are in the description below. I don't know if we. Oh, that's Anthony. Oh, PT man. I didn't realize that was you, Anthony. Hi. I started out drinking Heaven Hill Bottle and Bond 6 year. And I just to kind of warm myself up, and now I'm like sweaty, so I don't know what's happening with my body, but it feels weird. But yes, there are a bunch of different ways. First of all, if you do the Stream Elements link for Snuffy Chats, that's how you get your message on screen. I also get them directly through PayPal, through Venmo, through the CashApp, whatever is easiest for you. But I appreciate you guys so much for always helping out and taking care of the show and taking care of me. And I am so conscious of how my back feels right now that I'm trying to make sure that I don't let it creep into my my energy for the evening. But yeah. Sweet Snuffy Chats indeed. Jay, I don't know if you heard me, but I said thank you so much because I appreciate the heck out of it. And Emily Chambers is here. Hi, Emily. She says, and feed Snuffy well. Yes, please do. Tony is the music sounds good. Cool. I'm glad. So tonight I am going to be doing a side-by-side of a couple of bottles because I just got them recently. And I am very excited to get into these with you guys. The first one is a single barrel of Tumblin Dice straight bourbon whiskey from Indiana, of course, from the folks over at Deadwood. Or what is it, Proof and Wood? Yeah, they have no like social media. I guess it's just supposed to be MGP or Ross and Squibb or whatever the heck. What's up, Sugar Kitty? But yeah, they have like no social media presence, which I think is weird. And so when I went to go tag them in tonight's post about the stream, there was nothing there. for me to tag them in. And I didn't even think about MGP until right now. So there we are. But this is a 6-year single barrel, 117.6 proof. This was over at our Total Wine, the one that Swan used to work for. Swan's not here right now, but that's okay. I miss him. He's in Michigan at the moment. This is their mash bill is crazy. It's a crazy high rye content. 36% rye, 60% corn, and 4% malted barley. Aged a minimum of 6 years in new charred oak barrels. And then the second one, and I'll get to that in just a second. First of all, cheers all. Cheers to you, Clifton, Mr. Bourbon Bites. Hope you guys are looking forward to Clifton's stream tonight as well. We'll be going on live at 10 Eastern. A couple hours after we are done over here. Next Snuffy Chat's from Mr. Darren Wright. $5. He says, Pete is Pete. Pete is Pete. Pete is Pete. You're not caught up on the podcast. You really should be. Anthony says, Total Wine. Anthony's been having some trouble with the old folks over at Total Wine. Fair enough, though. Totally understandable. And then I am comparing it to this Penelope barrel strength toasted bourbon. It's 4 to 5 years, and I figured that the comparison between the two would be interesting. It's also 116 proof. But I wondered if you're drinking scotch tonight. Who are you indeed? Bev says, headed for Michigan next week. I'm still wondering if we're jumping the gun. It is still cold up there. I do not care for the cold right now. I'm enjoying the warmer weather. But anyway, I was wondering if maybe like the toasted profile would it kind of like artificially age it up a little bit to be closer to the 6 year. We'll see though. I'm I got to get into it. Also, Darren, I don't think I said thank you, but thank you. I really appreciate that, man. Yeah. So there you go. We're going to start with, I think, the Tumblin dice, even though it's a little bit older and a little bit higher proof. Something says I need to roll the dice, as it were. Sorry. I got pungs. Whiskey is whiskey. Whiskey is whiskey. You're right. Tammy Bernicke, both sound yummy. There's still some of this Penelope left here in town too. It's from our friends over at Jackson's Wine and Spirits. And this was a pick that they did. I am not being paid, of course, to say nice things about them, but they've always treated me well, and I've always tried to help them the best I can, and they're a local store, and I think we're going to try to do a pick with them before too long as well. John Hughes, deck railing fun, no OSHA violations. Thank you, John. Yeah. I think I said this, but yeah, like I briefly mentioned that we've got a guy who's very efficient with it. But he also he clearly knows what he's doing. So I'm pretty thrilled about that. Brian with the Snuffy Chat. Pete, how about a Petey chat? I don't know how Petey I could. I mean, I like that though. I like that, Pete. If I could get a little Maker's Mark looking leprechaun, that would be ideal. But yeah, all right. So let's get into this tasting. And like I said, we're going to wait just a little bit, at least over the next 15 or 20 minutes before we get into the special announcement. But stick around. You're not going to miss it. Also, thank you to everybody who is here right now. 25 folks. That's awesome. Thank you guys. 26 folks. Dang. Thank you guys. I'm doing a show with Penelope in July. It was supposed to be next Wednesday, but I have a surprise work trip pop up. Good stuff from them. Yeah, good stuff indeed. Good stuff indeed. I'm excited to talk about this this toasted single barrel as well. There's something really leathery about the Tumblin dice, too. There's a little bit of grain that's on there, and it's not like it's showing youth. It's almost like it's showing complexity. And I think that that's something that people kind of lose at times with some flavor descriptions. Like they say they taste the grain or they smell the grain. And that to them becomes an indication that they're just tasting youthfulness. Yes, please do hit the like button if you have not done so already. And so I think that note kind of lends itself more towards complexity than anything. As long as there's no sawdust in the Tumblin dice, you should be good. No sawdust. I'm getting like cornmeal, like more like that on the nose. Very like ripe cherries. It's got a lot of fruit on the nose. A little bit of like buttercream too. This is a complex nose. I mean, it's got a lot of stuff going on for it. About midway through is when the rice spice starts to kick in. But right up front, it is this full-bodied, really kind of sweet flavor profile as well. You're not a huge fan of the Tumblin dice pick you grabbed in last fall. Is that the same one that Chad and Sarah got? Because Chad said almost the same thing. I don't know if it was in Austin when they got theirs, but I was talking up this particular pick, and it's not even a pick; it's just a single barrel, and it wasn't picked by Total Wine. They just had it in stock. They had it in place of where like their picks are, but picks are. Anything to get my mind off my back, I guess. Even stupid puns, whatever. But yeah, this is just a single barrel. It's not a barrel pick, technically. Spilled a little bit. Wiping it up. Taking care of it. Good now. Maybe the same bottle. I believe it. I would totally believe it. Speaking of Austin, how difficult is it to get Bastards Ball tickets? I do not know, because I have never been, and I have never really followed through on questioning about that. I think, Brian and Tammy and Clifton would be the best folks to inquire with, Jay. But I'm curious. Let us know in the chat. How hard is it to get Bastards Ball tickets? So yeah, I think the finish is the weakest part of this Tumblin dice. Not that it's bad. It's a little bit short, and I think it just leans itself a little bit more towards the proofiness of things. But it is by no means a bad finish. And truth be told, I think it's really quite a good 6-year-old bourbon. That high rye is doing a lot of the legwork for it, trying to showcase, everything else that's going on. The oak is there, but it's more of like what's happening with the whiskey as opposed to the full-on effects of the barrel. You have to be a $20 patron. Okay. You can show up anyways, and they still won't let you in, even if you have tickets. That's obnoxious. Then it's free unless you're Clifton. Was that an accident? Like, surely there was some kind of accident that was involved with that, Clifton. Do I know this story? I feel like I know this story. I have to hear more of this, or at least get a refresher. But, all right, one more sip. I like it. There's some like cherry soda things happening on there as well. Oh my gosh. I've never felt old. I've just felt like I have things that are limiting my ability to do things that when I was younger. And my back, like the back thing, is super weird. It's a story for a hangout. Yeah, let's do it. If I'm feeling up to it tonight, I might stop in your hangout, Clifton. I'm feeling the need to just crawl into bed right now. I've got a tour tomorrow as well. So, all right. So, Penelope Bourbon, barrel strength, straight bourbon whiskey, hand selected by our friends at Jackson's Wine and Spirits. 116 proof, toasted, age 4 to 5 years. Char 4, and the toast is medium. So yeah, like I said, did I injure myself? Yes, I threw my back out today, and it was kind of a slow burn too, because I got done with my workout and I didn't notice anything happening, and then at about, it does suck getting older. At about like 3 or 4 o'clock, I was done with my workout at about 10:30. But I think I missed a Snuffy chat. Oh, there it is. Hashtag back brace fun from Don Nishida. Thanks, Don. Yeah, I could use something. I need some of the just, muscle cream or something. I don't know, whatever. But yeah, it wasn't for like 4 or 5 hours afterwards. I guess 5 or 6 really, that I started feeling it. And then I was out here in the studio getting some work done for tonight. And I walked into sprained a fat roll once. Daniel Carter. I've done that before too. I did that not too long ago, to be honest with you. And that was a moment that I had that woke me up. So that was really, really funny. But yeah, I stepped wrong up into the house, and I felt like my back was on fire. I just had this shooting pain all up and down my leg, up into my lower back, and I went upstairs just for a little bit so I could lay down and try to rest it, and I had to roll myself off the bed, which is the lamest friggin' thing I think I've ever said or ever had to do. So yeah, that's how. Oh. It's fine. Nothing spilled. Nothing broke. Hutch goes to the Lions. Oh, snap. It's a good pick. Yeah, the NFL draft's on tonight as well. So I appreciate you guys being here as I am keeping you guys from doing that. But John says, I feel that. I pulled a hammy one time and a rolly chair going. And a rolly chair going from hardwood to carpet. Getting old is dumb. Wow. That's one of the best injuries I have ever heard. I love that. Ugh. Are we renaming the channel to This Is My Ben Gay Podcast? It would be funny if I just did that for the YouTube channel, but not for the rest of my stuff, like the actual podcast feed. Yeah. You need to get Perry some plastic link errands. That would actually probably wind up hurting something more in my computer. But I would love to see plastic link errands. I think that's really funny. Donnie's here, Mr. Linux Cat, our moderator for the evening. Greetings, y'all. Miss Linux Cat and I had a blast at her birthday dinner. Tomorrow is her birthday. Happy early birthday, Diana. I hope you have a great birthday tomorrow. I am going to be out on the road with a tour. Yeah. Happy birthday. I'm glad you guys had a good time. One of my good friends blew out his patellar tendon jumping on a trampoline with his 2-year-old. I don't want to do, like, I don't want to be in a position where, like, I'm hurting myself this early with a toddler. Like, I want to be able to run around with her and, like, pick her up and, just be goofy and not have stuff like this happen. But it's fine. It's fine. I'll get over it. I'll be good by, like, Saturday or Sunday, as long as I can rest it enough. But we shall see. All right, the Penelope. The Penelope is what I was trying to say there. It is so different from the Tumblin dice. The Tumblin dice, going back to it, actually gets a little bit savory, whereas the Penelope starts to go very syrupy and kind of maple syrupy. Jeff Whack. Sorry, I thought I'm missing something. Jeff Whack, hi, buddy. Good to see you. Hope you're well, man. You should come in on Memorial Day weekend. Have we talked about this already? I think we might have, but we get to see you there. I know that Jason would appreciate it too. This Penelope is dang good. I've got a Char 5 labeled Illinois selected, and it's Bourbon Night pick. Char 5, dang. John says, you're old when heated seats in a car are no longer a cold weather feature, but it's a therapy feature. I typically don't like seat warmers. I run so hot that I just prefer to have the seat coolers on if I'm in a car with them. But that's pretty few and far between that you find those. This has some grain to it as well, oddly enough, but it's, again, like, it seems like more complex. It feels more like a sugar grainy thing to it. Does that make sense? Or flour grain? I don't know. I feel like I'm not making a whole lot of sense. I will say, and I know that this is a thing that, like, has become synonymous with toasted bourbons and people just kind of fall back on it, but it absolutely 100% does not have that toasted marshmallow note that people seem to pick up so much with toasted bourbons. I think, honestly, it kind of goes like, it goes kind of, speaking in the realm of s'mores, goes towards more like graham cracker, but less so those toasted marshmallows. As cool as, or as much as I love them, and as consistently as they are typically found on toasted bourbons, toasted whiskeys, it's missing from this one, and not in a bad way. It's just kind of a good surprise, a nice surprise to have something that's not so run of the mill, I would say. Brian says, I'm with you, Perry. I love my seat coolers in my truck in the summer. Yeah, man. Seat coolers are they're just a game changer. And I don't know why we didn't have them up until recently. All right. Let's check out the Penelope Toasted Single Barrel pick. This goes more like kind of sweet and juicy. Okay, sweet and citrusy. How does that sounds way better than what I just said. But yeah, it's almost kind of lemony, kind of whiskey sour-y. I'd really like to try that in a whiskey sour, or any type of like citrusy bourbon cocktail. But that would be great. I interviewed yesterday for, I think it's going to be next week's episode, Heather, who is also known as the Cocktail Contessa. We had a really, really great chat. That's what she said. There you go. That is what she said. But yeah, we had a great chat about cocktails. We had a wonderful chat coming up with some new with some new bourbon drinks too. And she blew my mind with a particular practice in cocktail making. So the IBN fits that description. There you go. Ooh. Justin, thank you for the updates on the NFL draft. A few years ago, we had a guy from EKU, Eastern Kentucky University, which is where I graduated from, go into the NFL draft, and he was living in the townhouse that this is such a dumb story. We were going to move into his townhouse if and when he got drafted. So that was the only year I really watched the NFL draft, making sure that he got drafted. And sure enough, he did. And so we moved in like a week later. JG, Perry, sweet and juicy, also spicy. The trifecta, for sure. Love me some cocktails. Love me some cocktails too, Darren. I had a brown sugar, simple syrup, Knob Creek single barrel old fashioned last night while I was chatting with Heather. So good stuff. Go follow her on social media too, at Cocktail Contessa or at the Cocktail Contessa. I can't remember exactly. She says it in the episode. So. Yeah, midway through the palate is when it really starts to kind of perk up. Introduce some darker notes. There's really some dark chocolate on the back end of the palate, especially as it goes into the finish. This definitely has a longer finish than the Tumblin Dice does. I don't know if that's it doesn't really matter if it's a product of the fact that it was finished in a toasted barrel or not. But regardless, it is it's really, really interesting, and I really like it. If you see Penelope Toasted Bourbon, I think you should absolutely get it. And I know that it's MGP, but so is the Tumblin Dice, and putting the two of them side by side, I think that the Penelope probably does a better job of being unique. So cheers everyone at an NFL draft party that came in to say, hey, what's going on, Scott? Mr. Fifth Quarter Tailgate. If you have not followed the Fifth Quarter Tailgate, I said Gorder for some reason. Go follow Scott right now. What are you doing? Stop waiting. Go follow Scott. He's got really good stuff coming out. Have I seen the new Sweetens Cove Tennessee $60 blend of Tennessee and Kentucky whiskeys this time? I have not only seen it, I have a bottle on the way directly from Marianne herself. I'm going to be interviewing her and the guy that was kind of the, not Peyton Manning, but the guy who kind of put the money behind Sweetens Cove. So we're going to be doing that before I think mid-May is when I have that scheduled with them, or at least tentatively scheduled. But yeah, I'm excited to try it. It's not that Sweetens Cove has been, it's not that it's blown me away or anything, but it's still interesting. Only 15 thumbs up. If you haven't already, hit the like button, please. I would appreciate it. Doesn't Penelope have their own recipe that MGP distills? Just wondering if it's contract or just the same stuff they sell to everyone. Anthony, I think you're right that they do have their own recipe through MGP. I could be very, very wrong, but that sounds correct, at least to me. So I'll have to look that up in a little bit and confirm it. But Brian's made happy with every bad pick made by the Texans, Titans, and Jags. As long as the Bengals do as well next year as they did last year. Man, that Penelope's so good. Oh, we talked too, and I don't like to talk about it too much, but being a graphic designer, I think I like talking about it, but the packaging, the labeling, the design for Penelope products is just gorgeous. I know that's not focusing super well, but man, it's so sleek and it's so cool. Oh, it's a 4-grain. I did not realize that. Huh. What do you know? Yes, Penelope is contract distilled 4-grain. If I had looked up 2 seconds ago, Darren, I would have seen that. Danny and Mike are great guys. Yeah, I've only talked with Mike. I've not spent a whole lot of time with Danny, but I like Mike. He's a really good guy. I interviewed him for the friggin' Repeal Day Fest that Fred put on. We're drinking Chad and Sarah's Penelope pick. Pretty darn good. I still don't think I've got to try their pick now. Like I just don't think I've had it yet. But the only other Penelope product that I have, this is going to destroy my back. Doing this, if it's on the floor, and I don't think it is. But I've got an old. I've got an old 4-grain barrel strength. That's pretty good. I think Adam Terry gave it to me as well. Jay's not had any Penelope yet. You should have some Penelope. Can't wait to see what the It's Bourbon Night pick does in a toasted barrel. Heck yeah. Oh, Papa Ritter's here. I gotta get this in my Q zone. Or maybe I'll just go for the original. Thunder only happens when it's raining. Players only love you when they're playing. Say women, they will come and they will go. When the rain washes you clean, you'll know. I missed it a little bit on the last line, but I nailed that. You cannot deny that I nailed that. Yeah, thunder only happens when it's raining. Players only love you when they're playing. Man, it's such a good song. Four-grain barrel strength is the only one I have. It's a good bottle. I do like it. 605 Bourbon fan. Also, hello. Don't know if I've seen you in here before. If I have, I'm sorry. My brain is very bad with names, especially as soon as I hit the end button on streams. So I hope you're well, and thank you so much for being here. You know. Greatest breakup album of all time. I think I have to agree, Joe. I think I have to agree. Oh, the Tumblin dice is so dang good. Back might hurt, but vocal cord's good. Nobody said I ever had to have a good back so that I'd be able to sing. That was not in my contract. The one that I made with the devil when I sold my soul. It said specifically, actually, back may hurt, vocal cord's good. I said, sweet. You got it, devil man. Don't tell anybody I did this, though, because I'm probably going to out myself on a bourbon live stream in a few years. But here we are. But yeah, everybody say, hey, Papa Ritter. Papa Ritter's in the house. Hey, Papa Ritter. Oh, man. I'm in I'm feeling better now that I've had some bourbon. It's not as bad, but it's still just that uncomfortableness of lower back pain. It gets me. It gets me good. That's why we have our barrel strengths on reserve. I thought you got a fiddle for your soul, not a voice. Well, Robert Johnson sold his soul so he could play guitar real good. And I sold my soul so that I could sing okay. So, so that's, I think I got the shorter end of the stick in that deal. But, you know, I think that's just kind of what I'm reaching for is I did it, or I can do it, kinda, somewhat. Am I even 30 yet? No, I'm not 30 yet. I'll be 30 next year, which is wild. Crazy stuff. But for me, this is not everybody's shared experience, but for me, age is but a number, and I'm just enjoying life. So, probably older than most everyone here. Rumors is and has been forever one of my favorite LPs. It's a great album. Drink more. After a while, you won't remember it hurts. Joe, I think that you're probably making the more accurate statement there. You sold your soul to your wife. In the absolute best way possible. I think I sold mine to my daughter. Honestly, like that kid could run my foot over with a car. I'd probably say something to the effect of, well, what can we learn from this? Or everybody messes up sometimes. Age is only a number when you're under 30. Also a very fair point. I could be just running down the clock, as it were. Sports metaphors. You know, going back and forth between the Tumblin dice and the Penelope, I like them for different reasons, and I could see myself being in the mood for them at different times. The Tumblin dice has a little bit more of a honeyness to it, even like a barrel-aged honey. Whereas the Penelope is just kind of I don't know, it feels like a bigger drinker in some ways. And I think that toasted profile really is doing a lot of the heavy lifting, as it were. But it's still good. 30 is the new 40 in Perry's case? I hope not, man. I hope this is a one week deal, a few days deal. I got to get back and I got to keep working out. I'm losing weight already. I mean, I'm not like significant amount, but I'm definitely like, I'm shedding some water weight at the very least, and it feels good. Papa Ritter says I sold my soul to Kathy Perry, Dane, and Sarah. Love you, Dad. I don't know. Music's been really good tonight. I've liked all these tunes. Tumblin dice, you gotta roll to keep on rolling. That's that Stone song, right? Yeah, Dad, I brought the Tumblin dice over to your house on Monday. It's such a good bourbon. Shedding water weight, so does mean that you are now cast strength. I say once. Don, yes. I think I'm gonna go ahead and say yes. That means that I'm getting more cast strength. Swan's here. Hi, Swan. I miss you, buddy. I hope you're well. JG says I like Teddy Bear Perry. Jay, look. Teddy Pear Bear. Teddy Pear Bear. Yeah, I like that. From a label perspective, I love that they put the age on the die on the label. Oh yeah, the label is so cool. and so unique for especially a sourced MGP brand. The fact that they take the time with it, per barrel, to make sure that it's got the age on there. But yeah, 6 years, and it's got 6 on the die. It's really, really cool. In that case, is it die or dice? Cheers, Perry Russell. Cheers to you too, Tony. But yeah, the teddy pear bear. I like being cuddly and whatnot, but the thing is, like, I need to lose weight. I need to lose weight so I can be active and around for my daughter and everything. But we are at the point in the stream, my friends, where it is time to make our special announcement. And I think it's going to be pretty obvious once I actually bring along these folks to our dice. Okay, there you go. Into the stream. But I'm very happy to welcome our good friends, great friends of the show, David and Channel.com. Hi, guys.
Hey,
Hi.
is the special announcement going to be that there's more freestyling of Fleetwood Mac, just like a cappella? Is that the special announcement? Just like
I'm gonna work on it. Like, somebody suggested that we might do like a karaoke night at the live show or at the meetup.
Yeah,
So,
well, he was making fun of you, and then you just turned it into a real thing.
No, you're really good at that. Like when I pick on you, you just turn into like, yeah, no, that's a thing. I will be like, well, yeah, Perry, you're stupid, and you're like, no, literally.
well, it's my stupidity that makes me special and unique, and
You did it
again.
I can spend just about anything, David. I can spend just about anything. But so this, I think, you're getting booed from Scott Pigsley. Over
Scott, no.
Oh,
but
no, that's hilarious.
I think it's pretty evident now what the special announcement is, but I'm very happy to be welcoming you guys as some special guests for this My Bourbon weekend in Memorial Day. So
Yes, Memorial Day weekend.
It's gonna be awesome. Very excited, man.
we had a long phone conversation too about what we were going to do, what that was going to look like, and everything. And the live show now is even going to have like a game show thrown into it too, and you guys are going to just absolutely take over for some things during the weekend too. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun. But does this mean that there will be a Fireball suite at this My Bourbon podcast weekend?
Ooh.
Well, actually, Perry, you encouraged us to bring something for a tasting.
Yes.
I hope you didn't expect us to bring anything but Fireball for the tasting, right? Like,
I would expect nothing less.
We've already picked up 3 or 4 handles of it, and we're just going to bring that.
Good.
And then we're not going to put out little cups. We're just going to hand the handle to people.
Mm-hmm.
And
Communal handle.
we're just going to make sure everybody leaves there with a good taste of Fireball and a bad case of HPV.
I got to be honest with you, David. I don't get caught off guard very, very easily, but I was not sure what was going to come out of your mouth at the end of that sentence, and that was perfect. That was perfect.
Typically, when words start coming out, I don't know what's going to come out at the end of the sentence either. It's an adventure for all of us.
Jay says they are special.
JG.
Well, my dad says Mama Ritter's going to be chugging the Fireball.
Yeah.
It's so good.
I
Yeah,
wish.
we're going to take over for a little bit,
Mhm.
randomly start making fun of the people who showed up.
Yeah.
So that's going to be fun for them.
I
Yeah.
love
They're going to be
I love
embarrassed.
the idea of it. I love it so much, and we kind of talked about it very organically about you guys popping on and being a part of everything. And like as soon as you sent me that message, David, I was like, oh my gosh, there's no way that I can say no to this. We have to get you guys there. Tony says he's going to bring them a Malort.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I don't mind it.
I love the Malort.
Yeah,
I
Malort's
also
fine.
I have not had it yet. So
It's not bad. Well, I guess, Perry, do you like grapefruit?
I'm okay with grapefruit, I guess. It's
then
fine.
you'll be okay with Malort.
Then
Malort is literally just proofed up grapefruit. That's it.
Interesting, because especially since grapefruit is 0 proof, typically. But do people make Malort cocktails?
I don't know.
I think they do. I know our first taste of Malort actually wasn't Malort at all. It was Malort marshmallows. And like literally they sell Malort marshmallows, and Malort prides itself on being bad. So like the packaging was all like, Malort's bad. How bad are these marshmallows going to be? And Kira's like, well, with packaging like that, we're going to spend $10 on 6 marshmallows and find out.
Well, now I got to try the marshmallows too. Dr. Fireball has a spigot on it. Just put your mouth under it and push the button. Sounds like a night to not remember.
Well, that's
Darren
before we put it in the super soaker.
That's right.
There we go. Oh, no. That something about that really hurt my soul. Darren says it's going to be an old-fashioned turd party.
Yeah, Will.
So, Vic, the meetup is in Lexington over Memorial Day weekend. The festivities themselves are going to basically be taking place from the 27th, which is that Friday, up until about the 29th, which is that Sunday. The 28th is the live show. You can get the tickets for the live show as well in the description of the video and the podcast and everything down below. There are a couple of options there if you want to hang out with us for the entire weekend. If it's not apparent already, David and Kira need to go back to being shelf-shared. Thanks, Jeff.
That's how they know you.
That's how they know you.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so there's a package for like hanging out with us, and there's one just for the live show. And like the hangout package includes your live show ticket, which also includes a free tasting of the new riff pick that we did for the meetup, access to the live show, including food and a drink ticket as well. But the rest of the package is like 2 tastings, access to exclusive bottles. We're going to be doing some private recordings just for like Patreon and everything. So these guys are going to be around for that now too, and it's going to be insane. And we're going to just be all over the place. And I'm so excited for it. But Memorial Day weekend is when all of that is happening. But
in Lexington. It's freaking awesome.
Yes, right here in my home city.
Yes.
So where I was born and raised. And there's going to be a pretty good chunk of time too. I know that a lot of people come to Kentucky and their thought is, well, I want to go and check out distilleries. There is going to be some time on Saturday built in so that people can go, and if they want to stop at a couple of distilleries, they can go and do that. So you can just, I need to get I told David and Kira the other day, Donnie says, I get to meet the folks normally known as the shelf turds. Yes, you do.
Yes.
True. Very true.
Very true. The artists formerly known. But I'm going to get the official schedule and everything typed up and out for everybody so they can have it. Check it out over the weekend. We are literally a month away today from the live show. And it would be great to have everybody who is there, who's watching the stream, who's watching it on the replay, who is listening to the audio version of this on the podcast feed and everything, to come and hang out with us. So we would
wait a minute.
Love that.
So what's happening right now? My HPV joke is going beyond this. It's going to audio and other things and replays.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if you knew this, but when you come on the podcast or when you are on a live stream with me, it's like it's like herpes. It never goes away.
I thought you were going to say, I don't know if you know this, but I have a podcast.
I was just going to say, I'm really glad I bailed out of that.
Name of the channel.
I was just going to say, I was really glad I bailed out of that herpes joke, and then you just landed it. But all right. So it's HPV and herpes jokes for the weekend. We got it.
Well, if nothing else, you're going to walk away with something.
Exactly.
That weekend, whether it's memories or bad memories.
Or a gift that keeps on giving.
An itch that keeps on itching. Anyway.
All right. right, man. Well, we are super, super excited to do this.
Yes.
Thank you so much for the invite, for being awesome, for the ideas that I'll just leave ominously out there. But everything that Perry said is true. The ideas are flowing. It's going to be a lot of fun. There'll be some stuff that's unconventional. Very excited about it. And we're just happy to participate and be there with you, buddy. So we're very excited.
Can't wait, guys. You all have a good rest of your night. Thank you for taking a few minutes as well to hang out and chat. But, and Donnie says, can we get a meetup theme song, please? We will certainly work on that. We will definitely work on that. All right, guys. Good to see you. I'll talk to you soon.
Appreciate you. Love you in it.
No, I kicked them off before I said love you too. But I do love them and mean it as well. Papa Ritter asked, don't I get a VIP pass? Of course. It's an amazing special surprise. I'm glad you guys are excited about it. I was so excited to have David and Kira, and just like I said, I couldn't say no to the prospect of having them along for the weekend, because they're wonderful people, and they're a very welcome part of the Whiskey Tube community as well. But it's going to be fun. It's going to be crazy. We're doing so many wild things, and this is not to dissuade anybody from thinking about the fact that Jason and Chad are going to be there for the weekend as well. But this is just like the extra little cherry on top for everybody. So I hope that you guys are even more inclined to come and hang out with us for the meetup weekend, and it's going to be great. I'm just like, the more I talk about it with them, the more I'm like, Jason and Chad. Yeah, Jason from the Mash and Drum and Chad from My Daily Bourbon. Jason who? Yeah, now it's all about the shelf turds. So, or the whiskeychannel.com, I guess. Papa Ritter's headed out. Love and cheers to all. See you all next week. See you, Dad. Love you, buddy. Don't forget the like button. Please don't forget to hit the like button. Yes. But yeah, I'll reiterate as well for anybody who missed it or might have not heard it entirely the first time. The link, the Eventbrite link for tickets for everything, aside from the hotel, are in the description below. I'll get the hotel link updated in the description too for everybody, because we have a really, really good discounted rate at the hotel in Lexington where everything's going to be taking place. So I can't wait. I just can't wait for you guys to show up and be a part of it. Jason C and Total Wine Chat. There you go. Forever shelf turds indeed. Cheers, and can't wait to meet anyone at the meetup. I can't wait to meet you guys either. I mean, I know a lot of you all, but I know most of the people who are going to be at the meetup. But it's just going to be great. I'm so excited for it. But anyway, that about does it for tonight. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you so much for listening to the audio feed. If you are doing that in the podcast audio feed, the normal podcast audio feed. But yeah, that does it. Follow the show at My Bourbon Pod. Give us a 5-star rating and review on the iTunes podcast app or your podcast app of choice. We see all of that. And like and subscribe. Become a patron of the show at patreon.com/MyBourbonPodcast for as little as $1 a month. As little as $5 a month gets you bonus content. And I think that does it, guys. I love you all so much. This has been a fun evening. Thank you for supporting the show as well through Snuffy Chats. It means a heck of a lot. When you want no-nonsense serious reviews, Jason is the way to go. But when you want to laugh, David and Kira are where it's at. Totally agree. That's it. We'll see you guys real soon. Cheers. Love y'all. See you until next time. But until then, I'm Perry, and this is TIMBP Live. I said that right? I think I did. All right. Bye-bye.